Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Ryan. Welcome back to Speak Up, the podcast that helps you speak better English every day. Whether you're listening on your way to work or just relaxing at home, we're so glad you're here. Today's episode is going to be super useful, especially if you're someone who's been learning English for a while, but still makes a few grammar slip-ups. Don't worry, we've all been there.
Hi friends, I'm Priya, and I'm really excited about this one. We're going to talk about those little grammar mistakes that sneak into your conversations without you even realizing it. You might hear them all the time and think they're okay, but they're not. And once you fix them, your English will sound smoother, clearer, and more confident.
That's right. You don't need to be perfect to speak well. You just need to avoid the most common mistakes. And that's what today's episode is all about. We'll break it down step by step in simple words so you can follow along easily and start correcting yourself right away.
Exactly. So grab your notebook or just keep your ears open. And let's start cleaning up those common grammar errors that might be holding you back. Even changing just a few small things can make a big difference. Let's jump into our first grammar mistake. So we've just talked about how even advanced English learners can fall into small grammar traps. And now, let's set the stage for today's episode properly.
First off, hello to all our amazing listeners. Whether this is your first time tuning in or you've been with us since the beginning, welcome to Speak Up. This podcast is all about helping you speak English with more confidence, clarity, and flow. No boring grammar lectures here. We keep it real, friendly, and practical.
And we've got a great topic today, one that a lot of people need help with, no matter how long they've been learning English. We're going to talk about 10 common grammar mistakes that many of us make without even realizing it. These are the little things that might seem harmless, but can change how clearly you're understood, and sometimes how confident you feel when you speak.
That's exactly it. A lot of times people think grammar is just something for textbooks or exams, but really it's about being understood and respected when you talk. The better your grammar, the more seriously people take what you say. And don't worry, we're not here to criticize. We're here to help you notice the patterns and fix them easily with everyday examples that make sense.
Yes, and trust me, we've all made these mistakes ourselves at some point. You might be saying something wrong every day without even knowing it, and that's totally normal. But once you hear the right way, it sticks with you. That's the magic of learning with conversations like this. It's relaxed, it's friendly, and you'll start hearing English a little differently from now on.
Absolutely. Think of this episode like a mirror. You'll start noticing these mistakes around you and in your own speech. That's the first step to real improvement. And don't worry if it feels a bit awkward at first. Learning to catch and correct yourself is a big part of the journey, and we're right here with you.
Couldn't agree more. So if you've ever felt unsure after speaking English, like something sounded off but you weren't sure what, then stay tuned. This episode is made for you. We're going to go through some very common grammar slips that you'll be able to fix right away. Let's jump into our first one together.
All right, let's start with one of the most common grammar mistakes we hear all the time, saying he don't or she don't. Now, you might have heard people say this in songs, movies, or even casual conversations. But here's the thing, it's grammatically incorrect. The correct form is he doesn't or she doesn't. Why? Because when we're talking about he, she, or it, third person singular, we don't use don't, we use doesn't.
Right. And this mistake usually slips out without people even realizing it, especially in relaxed conversations. Like someone might say, she doesn't like tea, or he doesn't go to the gym. It sounds familiar, but it's still wrong. The proper way is she doesn't like tea, or he doesn't go to the gym. That little S in doesn't is super important. It shows us that the subject is singular. It may be small, but it makes a big difference.
Exactly. And if you're thinking, wait, I've said that before, don't worry. A lot of learners and even native speakers say it without noticing. But once you become aware of it, you can start fixing it. One way to remember it is with this simple line. He, she, it doesn't fit with don't. That's a fun way to remind yourself that don't just doesn't work with those three.
Oh, that's a good one. I've also heard this little trick. He, she, it adds the S to the verb. And that's why we say doesn't, not don't. Let's try a few quick examples together. Listen to these two and pick which one sounds right. He doesn't know or he doesn't know. Yep, the second one. Or how about she don't care or she doesn't care? That's right. Again, it's doesn't.
See? It's all about getting used to the sound of it. Once you say the correct version a few times, your brain starts to catch it automatically. And when you hear someone say he don't next time, it'll probably stand out to you like a red flag. That's how you know you're improving, when your ears start catching mistakes even before your mouth does.
Exactly. So whenever you're talking about one person, he, she, or it, just remember it's doesn't, not don't. Keep practicing, use it in your daily sentences, and soon it'll feel totally natural. One small fix, but a big step in sounding polished and fluent.
Let's move on to another mistake that catches so many people off guard, saying, I didn't go. Now, at first glance, it might sound okay, especially because went is the past tense of go, right? But when you use the word did, like didn't, you're already using the past tense. So you don't need to say went again. The correct sentence is, I didn't go.
Exactly. This is what we call a double past mistake. People often think they need to show the past twice with both did and the past verb. But you only need one. Did already carries the past tense, so the verb that follows it should stay in its base form. So instead of saying, I didn't see, you say, I didn't see. Not, I didn't ate, but I didn't eat. Once you see this pattern, it starts to make sense.
And this one shows up a lot in real-life situations. Like someone might say, I didn't go to school yesterday when talking to a friend. Or, she didn't come to the party. It happens in fast speech, especially when we're not thinking too hard about grammar. But if you want to sound clear and correct, it's important to stop yourself and say, I didn't go, or she didn't come.
One way to fix this is to slow down just a little when you're using didn't. Think of didn't like a helper. It already does the job of showing past tense, so the main verb just needs to stay simple. Let's do a few together. I didn't blank. What's the correct verb?
Go.
How about they didn't blank?
Arrive.
Good. No past tense needed after didn't.
Nice and easy, right? Here's a quick phrase to remember. Did plus base, keep it in place. That means if you use did or didn't, you always follow it with the base form, like go, eat, see, or come, not went, ate, saw, or came. It might take a little practice, but once you've got it, it'll feel automatic.
So next time you catch yourself saying something like, I didn't go, just pause and switch it to, I didn't go. Try it out loud a few times. Say, I didn't go, I didn't eat, I didn't see. The more you use it the right way, the more confident you'll feel, and the smoother your English will sound in real life.
Now let's talk about something that seems small, but can make your English sound much more polished. And that's when people say, she have or he have. This is another subject-verb agreement issue. In the present tense, when we're using he, she, or it, we don't say have, we say has. So the correct sentence is, she has a car, not she have a car. It's a simple rule, but it's easy to forget when you're speaking fast.
Oh yeah, I hear this one all the time, and honestly, it's a habit that sneaks in without warning. Let's try a little role play to show how it sounds in real conversation. Ready, Ryan?
Let's do it.
Hey Ryan, does your friend speak English?
Yeah, she has a class every weekend.
Ooh, she has a class, not she have. Try again.
Right, okay, she has a class every weekend.
Perfect. See? Just that one word makes it sound more natural. Has goes with he, she, and it. Always.
Exactly. And here's a super simple way to remember it. He, she, it has a bit. It sounds kind of cute, but it works. The verb have changes to has when the subject is he, she, or it. So instead of he have a phone, it's he has a phone. Instead of she have a job, it's she has a job.
Let's do a quick comparison so our listeners can really hear the difference. Wrong. He have a bike. Right? He has a bike. Wrong. She have 2 dogs. Right? She has 2 dogs. And how about this? It has a problem. Nope. The right way is it has a problem.
That's perfect. So just repeat this little phrase with us. He, she, it has. Say it a few times until it sticks. It's one of those small details that makes your English sound smoother, more accurate, and more confident. And the best part? Once you lock it in, you won't even have to think about it.
Totally. So remember, next time you're talking about someone or something, he, she, or it, just go with has. One little switch, but a big upgrade in how you speak.
All right, here's a mistake that almost everyone makes at some point, saying, there are 5 people. Now, I get it. When you're speaking quickly, there is just rolls off the tongue. But here's the thing. People is plural. And when you're talking about more than one thing, you need to use are instead of is. So the correct sentence is, there are 5 people. 2 or more, go with are.
Yes, and it's so easy to mess up because there is just feels natural at the start of a sentence. Like, picture this. You walk into a room and your cousin says, there are 5 people in the kitchen. Sounds casual, right? But it should be, there are 5 people in the kitchen. And once you notice it, you'll hear it everywhere. At bus stops, classrooms, family dinners. It's super common, but definitely one to correct.
Exactly. Think of it like this. When what you're talking about is one thing, you use is. For example, there is a cat on the roof. One cat. That's correct. But when you're talking about more than one, like cats or people or books, then you say there are. So there are 2 cats, there are 5 books, and yes, there are 5 people.
Let's do a little test. I'll give you a few examples and you guess if it should be is or are. Ready? Okay. There, a dog outside. Yep, is. Just one dog. Now, there many cars on the street. That's right, are. Because there's more than one. One thing is, many things equal are. It's simple once you slow down and think for a second.
And when you're in doubt, just look at the word that comes after there is or there are. If it's something plural, like kids, chairs, or bags, you go with are. If it's a single item, like child, chair, or bag, then use is. You can even practice this in your head when you're walking around. There is a tree. There are 2 cars. You'll train your ear over time.
Yes, that's such a great trick. It's all about listening for the noun. So next time you're talking with friends or writing something, take that extra second to check. Are you talking about one thing or many? That's your clue. Fixing this one habit makes you sound more accurate, and it shows that you understand the basics of English grammar really well.
Okay, this next one always makes me smile because I've heard so many people say it without even realizing it's wrong, and that's more better. Like someone says, this one is more better than that one. Now, I get it. It sounds like you're just adding extra emphasis, but grammatically, it's not correct. Why? Because better already means more good. Saying more better is like saying more good. It's repeating the same idea twice, and that's what makes it redundant.
Exactly. It's like saying more faster or more easier. You're trying to boost the word, but the word's already doing the job. Let's try a funny example. Imagine someone saying, this pizza is more better than last night's. It might sound fine at the moment, especially in casual talk, but the correct version is just, this pizza is better than last night's. Better is strong enough on its own, it doesn't need help.
That's such a good example. And you know what? A lot of people make the opposite mistake too, like saying beautifuler instead of more beautiful. This happens because English has 2 different ways of forming comparisons. Some words, like better, worse, and faster, change by adding er. Others, like beautiful, comfortable, or interesting, need more before them. So more beautiful, not beautifuler. You can't mix the 2.
Let's break it down quickly. The better, worse, faster, smaller equals already correct. More better, more faster, not needed. More beautiful, more interesting, more important equals correct. Beautifuler, importanter, Nope, those don't exist in proper grammar. You kind of have to memorize which is which, but it gets easier the more you listen and speak.
Here's a fun tip I share with my students. If the word is short, like one syllable, just add ER. So fast becomes faster, cold becomes colder. But if the word is longer, like beautiful or difficult, you usually need to say more beautiful or more difficult. Don't try to force an ER ending on a long word. It won't sound right.
I love that trick. So let's remember, it's not more better, just better. It's not more worse, just worse. And if you're ever unsure, just keep it simple. Listen to how native speakers say it, and you'll start to catch the rhythm. Fixing this one makes your English sound much smoother and more natural instantly.
Here's a mistake you'll hear almost everywhere. People saying, "Me and my friend went to the market," or "Me and my brother played cricket." Now, it might sound fine in casual conversation, but it's not grammatically correct. The right way to say it is, "My friend and I went to the market." The subject of the sentence, that means the one doing the action, should always use I, not me.
Yes, and here's the part most people miss. It's not just about using I instead of me. It's also about the order. We always put the other person first. So it's not me and my friend, it's my friend and I. Think of it as polite English manners. Just like you let your friend walk into the room first, you let them come first in the sentence too. So instead of me and Priya recorded a podcast, Ryan should say,
My friend Priya and I recorded a podcast. That's right. And here's a quick way to test whether to use I or me. Remove the other person from the sentence. Would you say, me went to the store? No way. You'd say, I went to the store. That's how you know it should be, my friend and I went to the store. The same trick works in reverse, too.
Exactly. Let's do a little role play to show the difference. So, Ryan, imagine we just got back from a trip. I ask you, hey, who went to the museum? And you say,
Me and my cousin went.
oops, try again.
My cousin and I went to the museum.
Perfect. And see, when you say it the right way, it actually feels smoother. The rule is, when you're the subject of the sentence, doing the action, use I. When you're the object, receiving the action, then it's me. So you'd say, she gave the book to me, not she gave the book to I.
Let's wrap it up with a little rhyme to help remember it. You and I do the action, to you and me is the reaction. That helps keep it straight. So remember, my friend and I went, not me and my friend went. It's a small fix, but it instantly makes your English sound more natural and polished.
Finally, let's talk about a classic grammar mix-up that happens with reporting speech. People say, he told to me. It might sound okay at first, but there's a small error in there. The correct sentence is, he told me. The word told already includes the idea of giving information to someone, so adding to is unnecessary and actually incorrect. So when you're using tell, just go straight to the person. He told me. She told him. They told us.
Right. And I totally understand why learners get confused here, because there are sentences where we do use to, but it depends on the verb. For example, he said to me is correct. Why? Because said doesn't directly take a person without to. So we say he said to me, but we say he told me. The difference is all about how the verbs behave. Think of tell like a shortcut. It already knows where it's going, so it doesn't need to.
Exactly. Let's compare a few simple examples. Incorrect. My teacher told to me the answer. Correct. My teacher told me the answer. Incorrect. She told to him about the event. Correct. She told him about the event. Now look at this one. Correct. She said to him that she was busy. That's totally fine. Different verbs, different rules. Once you get this pattern, it's easier to keep your sentences sharp and correct.
And we hear this mistake everywhere, at school, in the office, even at home. You might hear someone say, my boss told to me about the deadline. But that tiny to makes it sound a little awkward. Just drop it. My boss told me about the deadline. It's smoother, cleaner, and more natural. The key is to remember which verbs need to and which don't. Tell doesn't. Say does. That's it.
Here's a quick way to remember. Brain, tell someone, say to someone. Say needs to, tell doesn't. Practice it out loud. He told me, she said to me, they told us, he said to them. Repeating these correctly builds muscle memory, and that's how your grammar starts to click, even when you're speaking fast.
Yes, it's small changes like these that take your English from okay to confident and fluent. If you can avoid these common mistakes, you'll notice a big difference in how people understand you and how confident you feel when speaking.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thanks so much for spending your time with us today. We really hope these 7 grammar fixes help you speak with more clarity and confidence. Remember, making mistakes is part of learning, but fixing them, that's where real growth happens.
Absolutely. Don't feel bad if you've made these mistakes before. We all have. But now you know better. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep listening to Speak Up. We're here every week to help you take small, steady steps toward better English.
Thanks again for tuning in, whether you were walking, cooking, or just relaxing. We're so proud of every one of you taking time to improve. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share this with someone who needs a little grammar glow up.
Take care, stay curious, and as always, keep speaking up. See you in the next episode.